Jim, along those lines, a few weeks ago we had Dr. John Walton on, and he too almost lost his job over a concern about inerrancy. So our question to him was not, do you believe in inerrancy, but do you believe that it, unfortunately, by some corners of the family, has been weaponized to silence other views or to manipulate in ways for those of you who are in an academic field or even in the pulpit in some areas?
Weaponized is the right word there. There's a tradition of inerrancy. It's fairly recent, the way it's been articulated since the Chicago statement came out in the late 70s. For a long time, I was a member of the Evangelical Philosophical Society and was even on the executive committee of the Philosophical Society. And there's a statement you sign for that includes the word inerrant. And I did sign that in good faith for a number of years. But along those lines of what you're saying, how that is sometimes weaponized, there was a movement by some people saying, this is exactly what inerrancy means. And if you mean anything different than this, you can't be a part of us. And when that happened, I said, that's enough. And I actually, at one of the annual meetings for the Evangelical Philosophical Society, I gave my paper on why I'm no longer signing the statement. And I don't think it was that my own beliefs changed in that. And among those who subscribe to inerrancy, there is quite a range of positions of what they mean. And the sort of cynical way to look at it is to say among the academic circles, there's a kind of a wink and a nod to say, yeah, we know there are all these issues, but if we mean by inerrancy this, then we can continue to sign this at our institutions or pastors within churches where those are fighting words and have become a kind of shibboleth that if you don't say that word, you can't be part of us. When there's a much richer and more sophisticated conversation that goes on about that. So there's another one of these 4 Views books on inerrancy. And for instance, someone like Kevin Van Hooser at Trinity Evangelical Divinity School, who subscribes to it, but writes in a very sort of sophisticated and subtle and nuanced way of understanding that it's more difficult than just pointing to a chapter and verse and saying, see, that's what the Bible says. So because I'm an inerrantist, that must be what everybody believes. So it gets more difficult than that. At BioLogos, we have not taken a specific stand on inerrancy, and that's cost us some followers by people who have said, if you don't sign on to that, I'm not going to listen to whatever you have to say. But we don't, because we recognize that for many genuine Christians who take the Bible seriously, that language just isn't helpful because of the kind of gymnastics you have to do sometimes to explain away problem passages or whatever. So BioLogos actually put out what we call one of our common questions, which is one of the areas of the website where we address questions like this, and wrote saying that we think our position is consistent with inerrancy, but it doesn't demand inerrancy. So whether you accept inerrancy or not, you can come and be part of us and accept the science of evolution and take the Bible seriously and interpret it faithfully. So we have tried to not make it a shibboleth or a stumbling block for people.